immoral, and wrong.
This is the Modern Eater Show.
Piping hot and delicious.
The Modern Eater.
Food, 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 food. Come and get it.
And now your hosts, Greg Holland,
You're on.
Parker, and Brian Freeman.
You better believe it. Here we are, Studio Kitchen, Colorado, the Modern Eater Show. Another brand new edition. Every Saturday, here we are, churning them out from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Greg Hollenbach, Jay Parker, Little Rich Schneider, Brian Freeman. We're all here. Davery's not here tonight, but all's well in the world. And hey, Jay, tell us a secret. Everybody listening. And
Tell you a secret?
Yeah,
Yes, you're good at secrets over the loudspeaker. You're very good.
I was really going to tell you one. Well, it's not a secret. I told you guys in the car, but it's not. Can't repeat it really right now.
Oh, there's going to be a good show tonight. Everybody's in a great mood, and why not? It's springtime. So many things are going on, and Derby Day. Here comes Robbie Hahn from Boulder Organics Ice Cream. He comes in looking as sharp as ever with his Boulder Organics hat.
And his Derby date.
And his Derby date. She looks lovely. I love the hats for Derby. So many things going on
Great
this
tradition,
weekend.
for sure.
Speaking
Speaking of traditions, what do we got going on this weekend?
May the
Here in
4th be with
Colorado?
you.
May the 4th be with you. It's today.
Yeah, that's right. Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. And we've got a big show tonight. Seattle Fish Company is going to check in the next segment. And Lincoln from Seattle Fish Company, this guy is a fisherman. That's where they recruited him from.
From the sea?
Yeah. And when you say fresh off the boat, it's a real term for Lincoln.
For like.
Interesting.
Truly is. He loves being on a boat. I was talking to him today. I said, hey, man, do you get the itch to get back out on a boat? And he says, yeah, actually, I do, but I have a good thing going with Seattle Fish Company. It's like, I said, maybe they'll keep you connected, and make want you to go out there and be on that boat. He said, maybe they let me go for a month or something, but I'll do 4, right? Salmon fishing. And he said, I can do a year. I said, I can't do a year of anything.
Yeah.
I
just proved that point.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
No, you've been doing the Modern Eater for a few years.
No, I
my
mean,
friend.
just, kind of quarantine or sequestered.
Yeah, you mean in a little
boat
fishing
for
boat?
a year?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
That takes a lot right there. So Lincoln's going to catch up with us. This is a true pleasure and a treat for us. It's 6:30 right here on 630 KHOW, our flagship radio station, iHeart radio station. He's going to check in, and Zach Johnston, the Spice Guy. He stopped in. Oh, by the way, I'm sharing to my Facebook account, our Facebook live stream, because you can get all of the action.
Every minute of it, every second of it.
See what's going on.
And I have a prediction. I have a prediction about tonight's show.
Best show ever.
Best show ever.
Rich
like
loves
We
those
haven't
predictions.
stopped that yet. Dang it, it's not going to be tonight.
I'm going to start a watch party. How do you do that? A watch party.
A watch party. Yeah,
know how to do that,
Rich.
Jay?
He's got a nice, and that's a local watch. Here's one thing that's really interesting. I'm going to throw this out at the beginning of the show, just for our viewers and our guests to think about it. By the way, we're here at Modern Eater Studio Kitchen right here in the Rocky Mountains.
Yep.
It is right around 6:10. Think about this, folks. As we talk about our show today, think about this concept of what is local, what is hyper local. What do we do?
Why'd you point at me?
Is local? Why am I pointing at
He's
you?
a local boy.
He's a local boy.
The product of right here.
I love this.
Come on, what are you,
community
10 miles
of
from here?
Colorado? Yeah, I grew up in Cherry Creek.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before the mall.
Well, but
That
so
was-
let me ask you this
Show
question:
you how old I am.
Is local bigger than Colorado?
Sure, locals in every community.
Well, no, I'm asking, is local, if I said something is local here in Colorado, what does that mean? Does that mean I can bring a nut from somewhere, like an almond from California, I can put some spice on it? Is that then local?
I see where you're
Or
going
is
with it.
so this is an interesting thing because I don't want a discount for all these great small food businesses out there that are doing something, but they have to use an ingredient that comes from
Well, it's
somewhere
like,
like
with
almonds.
Growers Organic, you have produce that you pick up from California.
Yep, you have to.
And
If we want to eat bananas, you're
But-
not getting them here.
But is Growers Organic a local, hyper-local business? Yes.
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a litmus test that you have to put things through.
Well, is it from here? Is it
filter.
available locally?
Yes.
So if
Exactly.
there's something that's grown here, and I'm choosing to instead bring it in from Tennessee, and because my address has a Colorado zip code, am I going to wave the local flag?
Well, but Rich, that's
Not
what I
iffy.
love about you and Rockalitas, because everything that you are using is local.
We try.
I love that. I love
try
that.
real hard on that. Real hard on that.
So as we were talking about, Zach Johnson, the Spice Guy, is on with us.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Zach Johnston, truly a wealth of information, and you're going to find that exact conundrum, would you say, with Zach. Is he local? Because think about spices.
Well, he's totally local. This is a guy that's a hyper-local guy, started up in the mountains, and he came down here, and he's done something with this idea. He's a true entrepreneur, and I think it's really great to have him on the show so we can hear a little bit about his story.
Yeah, wait until you hear Zach's story. And he's a cool guy, too. 7 p.m. The longest running sponsor on the show, Jeff and Kristen Rourke from A+ Beverage Solutions. They're going to come on the show at 7 o'clock. And then we're going to do Treeline Bloody Mary mix at 7:15. This is
It's right here.
Yeah, this is something. Jay, how'd you source this, Jay?
So when you get to the part about Tommyknocker, Tommyknocker uses the Bloody Mary mix in some of their beers up there to make Micheladas, and they make names like Beeritas.
Oh, far out.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, and at 7:30, if you like Tommyknocker Brewery, and think about that local brewery, it's a kind of a local legend in Idaho Springs. Tommyknocker Brewery has been around for a long time. I love hearing their stories. Steve Enderhaas, he's going to join us.
Inderhoos.
Is it Enderhoos?
Inderhoos.
You sure about that, Jay?
Yeah.
Enderhoos.
Inderhoos. I put a thing in my brain on how to remember it.
I'm going to tell Steve because I think that Enderhaas is like a much more a strong name than Enderhoos. I
Well,
think I could convince him to
Inderhaas
change
would be
it.
sort of like in the house or something like that.
Up there, you know how
Haas.
everyone refers to him as Sir.
He's probably
okay.
He's the big
He's
cheese
right
up
down.
there, so it's pretty much Sir.
So big show, but we're ramping up, you guys. Road Trip 2019 is upon us in June. That's going to be a great time, and then we finish up with Summer Dinner Series in July and August. But the route has been written, they would say, Brian.
Yes, indeed, it has.
So we're going to head down on a Saturday night out of Denver, Colorado, and kind of have a big, I don't know, what would you call it? Festivities, a hoo-ha,
Oh, well, you mean our going
Wing-
away?
wing ding.
a wing ding.
Big
Wing ding.
Saturday night, June 15th, and here's where it gets cool. We head down I-25 into Larkspur, Colorado Springs. Monday, we're going to head into Lamar, Colorado. At that point on Tuesday, we'll come buckle back around into Salida, Colorado, then head down south on 285 into Saguache, right?
Yep. So we'll actually go up to 285 on 17. We're going to try to hit Salida or Saguache and Crestone, Colorado, because we had that great farm trip there with Aterra Green Earth Farm there in Crestone. Well, they're right just south of Crestone, but then down into where? Bow and Arrow.
Yeah, I love that.
That's going to be
Colorado.
awesome. And Rich, you really, truly this year, you need to drive the caddy down to Bow and Arrow, man.
I was just yakking with them last week. We're working on a pretty cool project.
That's awesome to hear. You know what? One cool thing about that little side note is growers and Bow and Arrow have worked out a deal. So now we're carrying all of the Bow and Arrow grains. Every flower, we're sort of like their mini warehouse in Denver for them.
Nice.
So
Good
if
move.
anyone runs out or anything happens, you can come right down to growers and hook up with the Bow and Arrow, the Ute Indian tribe out of southwest Colorado there. But from the Ute Indian tribe, we go right into Durango. And we'll be seeing our good friend Jason Lamb.
Yeah, Jay Lum.
Jay Lum.
Jay's a cool guy. He's very well connected there, and we're going to do a dinner or Ska Brewing Company in Durango, Colorado. We'll do a show from there. And then we're heading back on up. Yeah, Rich, take off over there. We're going to send it to Rich in a second here to do the break. But we'll head up from Durango and do what I am so excited. Brian, listen to me. I'm so excited for this. We're going to do a summer solstice party, cookout, camp out at Big B's with Jeff
Yes.
Schwartz, man. That is a cool place to
Friday
be.
night, and we're going to be there on the summer solstice.
Yeah.
That could turn into a huge shindig there in Paonia.
Yeah, and Hotchkiss, right?
Hotchkiss. They're right next to each other.
And then back up around, we're going to go into Palisade and Grand Junction area, and Saturday night, 1 week later, we'll be at Field to Fork, hopefully. Yep. And then back down that Sunday and just source a lot of great food. So if you have any suggestions for us on where we should stop off in Colorado, just drop us an email.
We're going to be seeing a lot of awesome farms, restaurants, distillers, brewers. We should see our friend down at Solar Roast Coffee in Pueblo. Remember when he was on the show?
We're going to
Solar
head
Roast.
through Pueblo as well. So that's our route. You're going to hear a lot more of it from weeks to come. But Colorado, man, we are so blessed. I've been taking a lot of trips down to Salida lately, and that drive down 285 is just, it's far out.
Have you fallen in love with the rabbit farm down there, Gene?
With Jane's Rabbit Farm?
Jane's Rabbit Farm.
I really do like it a lot. Okay, let's take a break, and we'll come back. And looking forward to Lincoln Shisler is coming up from Seattle Fish Company. That'll be next right here on the Modern Eater Show. We'll break away now, and then we'll send it away to Little Rich right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Thanks, Greg. Welcome, Facebook family and YouTube family viewers. And speaking of family, we're going to talk to Chris about his family.
Thanks, Rich.
Chris, who's watching at the
Morehouse? My wife Paula and my son David.
Awesome,
right?
awesome.
And they're great. My son's, as he's getting older, he's learning more and more about wanting to cook and why chefs do what we do and why do we follow a recipe. And my wife is, she's a marathoner. She's a superstar. She's a elementary school teacher, so shout out to all the teachers out there as well.
You've got a beautiful family.
I appreciate
so
that.
Nice
Thanks.
having you guys come visit us at the plant.
Thank you for having it at your tortilla factory. It was awesome. He had a great time.
And it's great that you acknowledge your family so
Absolutely.
much. At the different meetings, you're always talking about them, and truly, we spend so much time away from our families.
Right.
They help support our.
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. And it's the sacrifices we make in our industry, and we don't ever really give a shout out to the family that supports you in all your endeavors, which is great.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
awesome, Chris.
Thanks.
Chris, we're going to break away here in just a few seconds. Chef Chris Moore's got a great family, some great food to feed our Modern Eater family right here. We'll be back.
At the Modern Eater Show. If you've got a fish question, none better than Seattle Fish Company, a locally based company. They're coming up next. Lincoln's going to drop some fish knowledge. You got a question? 303-713-8255 will get you on.
Rocker Spirits. It's a distillery. It's a place to hang. It's about quality. It's about taste. It's about passion. Infused with American spirit. Rocker whiskey, rocker rum, rocker vodka. Get ready for an original look, feel, and experience. Old Town Littleton. And if you get hungry while you're sipping on some drinks, they've got the best food truck line in town. Open Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Rockerspirits.com. Rockerspirits.com.
Hi, I'm Andrew Moore, brewmaster at the Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project. At Intrepid Sojourner, beer tells a story inspired by my adventures as a well-traveled archaeologist. My recipes draw inspiration from all over the world, from historical styles like Satis, Greitzers, and Kvass, to adjunct beers inspired by flavors from international cuisines. My beers broaden the horizons of what beer can be. Explore Basil IPA and Turkish Coffee Stout. Enjoy Brown Ale, taste lavender tripel and the distinctive horchata milk stout. Thoughtfully sourced spices and herbs enhance flavors inherent to indigenous beer styles. My sincere hope is that Intrepid Sojourner Beer Project will inspire adventure and wanderlust. Come visit the tap room and share your tales with friends and plan your next sojourn. Located at 925 West 8th Avenue in the heart of the Arts District on Santa Fe. For everything Intrepid, look us up online at sojournerbeers.com. And remember to drink globally, locally.
Little Rich here. It's the new year, and we're all looking for ways to save money. Here's a tip I bet you didn't know about. Do what I do. Buy your natural gas wholesale, instantly saving 10 to 12% off your gas bill every single month. Baby, that's some serious cash. Do what I've done for years and call Brian Rizzuto at Encore Energy today. The sooner you call, the sooner you save. Call Brian at Encore Energy, 720-245-5771. That's 720-245-5771. Save money on natural gas with Encore Energy.
Yo, what's up? This is Justin Brunson, Ultra Meat and Cheese in Denver Central Market. I'm a meat guy. And you're listening to the Modern Eater Show on the iHeartRadio.
Yes, you are actually Justin Brunson. He signed on to the Summer Dinner Series. He's going to wrap up that series on August 20th and be the last chef cooking, which is fantastic that Justin's joined us as we're back here at the Kitchen Colorado. Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman. Jay Parker, Little Rich Schneider, and our resident chef here, Chef Chito Arreola. And we've got Seattle Fish Company. Here he is. Lincoln, you're back. How are you?
Yes, sir, man. I'm just happy to be here.
Good to see you.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be anywhere, right?
Well, yeah, for sure.
This is a cool thing. First of all, as Chito, and if you're not on our Facebook Live now, you're missing
you
full
wanna
value.
see this.
He's breaking down a halibut right now in just perfect fashion. But Lincoln, start off, talk about Seattle Fish Company, local company, and they, Seattle Fish. It's like, what? No, they're not. They're from Seattle.
No. Family-owned business, been around for 100 years. Kind of long story. I'm going to dumb it down a little bit here, but it initially started with Mo's Iacino. He was up in Seattle. He was getting all of his shellfish and all of his fish from Seattle. He was on freight. Excuse me. I'm sorry. On freight.
Had a little mini stroke on the air there.
Well, I got stuck there for a second. I apologize.
No problem. I do it all the time.
A little mini stroke.
No problem.
He was packing all of his products in sawdust, with a little bit of ice, shipping them down here, and then was walking around downtown Denver with a little cart and making things happen. And then all of a sudden, here we are 100 years later. Got 20 trucks running everywhere.
That's
literally everywhere. We'll go anywhere.
Is there anything you cannot source fish-wise?
I mean, no. I mean,
you can get it all.
I can get it all. I mean, if you give me, we deal a lot on the wholesale level and on the retail level as well.
Lincoln, what's the most unique? What's the most unique thing you've ever sourced for someone?
I'm thinking right now. Just last week we brought in some scorpion fish from New Zealand, which is an invasive species.
Who wants that? What's that call sound like?
Who wants that? But it's a sustainable option. You know what I mean? So it's nobody really truly. Is like, hey man, can you go pick up and can you source scorpion fish? But since we're all about sustainability.
Was that a chef that wanted that, or just a crazy guy playing video games?
It was chefs. Chefs reach out to me for pretty much anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you want them
fish from Spain. I get a lot of calls on. I've been getting a lot of calls on cuttlefish from Spain. A sepia. Unique products.
And you're saying cuttlefish, right?
Yeah,
the little glow-in-the-dark kind of fish there.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a subspecies of octopus.
So, Lincoln, and Greg knew I was going to go here, and I just got to ask you, because when I talk about glow-in-the-dark fish, I always have this big question for people in your industry about, Fukushima, about the Pacific, about like all this stuff. It's because it's still going. It's not going to end. And we always wonder. I wonder, and I don't want to take you there, and I don't want to put you on the spot for sure, Lincoln. But it is something that's very interesting about where we source our fish from, where in the world we're getting it, and what can be in the water, how they're raising the fish, because you can do ocean farm raised.
That
now has come a long way.
That and how very delicate our earth is and our oceans are, and the big roles that fishing communities have. And you're a fisherman.
Oh yeah.
You love the water. What's in it?
Oh, everything. I love everything about it. You know what I mean? Nice work. I do love everything about it. So you definitely have to be thoughtful about where you're getting your products. At Seattle Fish, we got a team of 5 buyers that are sourcing from all over the world. So we put a lot of thought into it. It's not just shooting from the hip. We think about the repercussions of what we do. We're always trying to bring in whole boats and push bycatch. So if there's a boat out there that say that's running trawl gear or whatever, and rockfish is the bycatch of that product, and they're targeting another species, we'll always try to pick it up. Pay some money for it. Get some value out of it, so it's not just getting dumped. So you got to be really thoughtful about that. And the team that I work with and Seattle Fish, that you're only successful as the people around you.
I'd love to hear that you know so much, Lincoln, and that's why people should really reach out to Seattle Fish for your fish needs at the restaurant. And more so, what would you say, Lincoln, is one of those things that's a big no-no? When you're looking at fish, what is the one thing that you want to stay away from, or you would encourage people to really steer near of?
If you're a whole fish buyer, I like cloudy eyes, anything that's kind of muggy, dingy. If you open up the gills and you see that they're off just a little bit, whether color or smell. I mean, use your nose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if it smells funky, you don't want to. I mean, that goes across the board with anything.
Does this, does this same notion apply to today's day and age, to where the closer the fish, the better the taste, the better it's going to be for you? Is length, as far as it needs to travel in this world, is that really a variable on the quality and the freshness of the fish?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say so. I mean, we're sourcing out of the Gulf. I mean, we get a big Gulf program that we're running with right now. And I mean, some of that stuff, is out of the water on a plane or even by freight. I mean, it's here within 2 to 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's logistics. I mean, when you're playing with the way we play, I mean, logistics, they're all pros that I work with. I mean, they're smart, they're highly intelligent guys. They all bring that stuff in a thoughtful manner. And if it doesn't come into Seattle Fish up to spec, we're not going to send it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, we got quality guys that got eyes on them. I mean, I'm back there literally daily, checking products, seeing what's going on,
So
I'm interested. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when I said you're a fisherman, that's no joke. What's your background?
I mean, everything from kitchens to boats, I mean, I was up in Alaska not all of 2017, but a big chunk of 2017 up there, commercial salmon fishing, relayed that into a little bit of halibut, what Chito's cutting down right now. And
You tell me the truth, you got sick of salmon after being on the boat that long.
For sure. I mean, I haven't eaten wild salmon for probably 2 years, and I have people hit me up all the time for it, and I don't touch. It's a good product. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'd love to sell it when we bring it in. It's beautiful. I mean, you got that nice red to it.
Yeah.
And salmon should be fired up, here within the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, when I was on the boat, I mean, we probably ate that stuff 3-4 times a week for 3 months straight, literally.
And it's a pleasure. I mean, what a luxury.
You can only do so much with it. You know what I mean? Like you're cooking on a little griddle the whole time.
Well, let's hear from the chef. Chef, you just broke down in gosh, what, 8 minutes, effortlessly, that halibut. What do you think of the quality of that?
Good, man. The clams, the mussel, not the clams. So
Scallops.
Scallops, sorry. I had a little stroke there, too.
It happens a lot.
It's good stuff. I mean, buttery. This is fresh. It's delicate.
Chef, tell me, Chef Chito, when you opened up this can, and I was shocked because I'm like, whoa, wait, a paint can, scallops coming out of a paint can, and Chef Chito educated me tonight, and I really appreciate that. Would you educate our guests? Why are we getting scallops out of a can?
So you get the scallops out of the can because you keep the light out, the product, the air, any water contact, the ice, so it doesn't contaminate.
Makes perfect sense.
Nice.
Hey, Jay Parker here, just to throw this in there, that's why canned beer is technically better than bottled beer for the same reason, sunlight and oxygen.
You've paid attention to a show or two, haven't you?
I mean, I'm not just over here. Hey, how's it going?
That's right. I'm listening too.
Yeah, so you get a better product.
What can we look forward to in the climate of fish this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I feel it's strong. I mean, we brought in this halibut. I mean, that just got fired up like I don't know, a month ago maybe. So I mean, we'll be rolling with fresh halibut. All the stuff out of the Gulf is coming in real nice. You got some Spanish Macs we've been landing lately that are beautiful, beautiful products. You'll see wild salmon season start up. So hopefully we'll bring in some reds, some sockeyes, kings, cohos, get some chums in there.
What's the best of the best? What's your favorite, Brian?
My favorite fish?
Yeah.
I'm easy. I like really good tuna. And I know we shouldn't be eating it right now, but because we've overfished tuna, but I'll tell you, I'm a simple guy when it comes to fish. I like raw tuna. Just that hits the spot for me.
Really?
But I'm curious, how big is the Gulf? Because you're getting a ton of fish out of there. I wanted to pop back into that real quick with you, Lincoln.
Yeah.
How many varieties of fish are you pulling out of the Gulf? Just a ton? Or what? I mean, is it super diverse?
Just for example, I update my fresh sheet. I send this out twice a week. So 12 to 14.
Different species out of there. Nice.
We can even work a little bit further south into like Ecuador, Costa Rica. We're sourcing a lot of to kind of piggyback off of your.
You guys bring
fish.
grouper in?
Yeah, grouper. We'll bring in grouper from big ones, 40, 50 pounders. Then we got a West Coast grouper we'll bring in, and then to kind of piggyback off of tuna and your favorite fish. All the stuff that we're getting is out of Costa Rica.
Nice.
It's through a company called Chef's Trading. So everything is QR tagged. So like if you were to buy, a side of tuna from me, It comes with a QR tag, so you can scan it and see what boat it was landed on, when it went to Miami, and then when it was shipped to Denver, and then got to your door.
Nice. That I love
so
to
it's
hear
really,
people with transparency. Lincoln, you guys are nailing it out of the park at Seattle Fish, man. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Nothing wrong with that at all, Lincoln. Whenever I want to talk about fish, you're the guy to go to, and truly, it's the passion I love for whatever you're doing within that industry, the passion that you have for fish and fishing and everything.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Thank you so much, Lincoln.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's good stuff. It's 6:30 on 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Up next, they call him the Spice Guy, and for very good reason. He ruined it for a lot of other people because you say, if you're in the spice industry, the Spice Guy's coming. Well, no, he's not, because there's one Spice Guy, and his name's Zach Johnston. And the Spice Guy is going to come up next right here on the Modern Eater Show, live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. You're listening to iHeart Radio.
Thanks, Greg. What a great segment that was. Holy cow. You know what? If I was a cat, I would be in love with this guy. You're smelling fishy, Chito.
Oh, I am.
Man, that was something. I can't wait to taste this
It's going to be good.
later
We're
on.
going to do it in the green egg.
Oh, that's going to be incredible. Now tell us what's coming up next week.
Next week,
Tell our viewers what's
the
happening
opening
next
of
week.
the Xochitl.
What?
Xochitl food truck.
The food truck.
Be here next Saturday, 6 p.m., 6 to 8. We'll be here and enjoying some burgers, tacos, and also the show.
So wait a minute. We can get food off of a food truck here in Denver from a chef that has cooked at the Super Bowl, at the U.S. Open, the Kentucky Derby, the World Series, on and on and on, off a food truck. Sign me
classy,
up.
right?
What time
Classy.
should people be here tomorrow? Or not tomorrow. Next Saturday. What time should they be here?
6 p.m. 6 p.m.
All cash, baby. You gonna take plastic?
We do everything. IOUs, everything.
Stop, load up with cash. Let's get behind
There you
this
go.
guy. Support him. You're going to have some of the best, most hyper-local food you've ever had in your life. Get down here. We're gonna send it away to a couple sponsors. Listen to what they have to say. You will get better. Thanks.
Stump the Spice Guy. Call in now, 303-713-8255. If it's a good one, we'll get you right on the show live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado.
Colleen Ferreira here with the Colorado Chefs Association. You've probably heard the excitement. This year we are creating a stir in the culinary community. This is your personal invitation to join us on our constant culinary adventure. Let us open up our network to you and help you grow professionally. Whether you are a chef, purveyor, brewer, baker, we are here to build your brand, your business, and connect you with Colorado's culinary community. Join us. I'd love to hear from you. Email me, Colleen at acfcoloradochefs.org.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here. Live in one. Rockalitas, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you too want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado grown, cold pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills. Want to bake the best? Bake with the best. Little Rich here from Rockalitas Tortillas and the Modern Eater. Our wraps fold cold and don't break open, yet they're soft and delicious. What's my secret? Ardent Mills. Organic, ancient, and heirloom grains like quinoa, spelt, and more. Locally headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Ardent Mills provides the industry's broadest range of traditional and organic flours, whole grains, customized blends, and specialty products dedicated to providing the culinary industry with the next grains and unique plant-based ingredients. I love Ardent Mills, and I know you will too. To bake the best, you must use...
Live in 3, 2, 1, you're hot.
Momentarily, the Modern Eater Show will continue with the Spice Guy, Zach Johnston. But right now, it's A+ Beverage Solution. They're in the house tonight, man.
Yes, they are.
Jeff and Kristen Rourke. We tell you all the time, if you own a brewery, a bar, a restaurant, get it together. Get an A+ report card from A+ Beverage Solutions. All you have to do is give this gentleman a call. Get a pen. We'll give you the number in a minute. But foam is money, and he makes your tap dreams reality. He can go in and adjust your lines, your nitro, the glycol, if it's pouring.
Can he do anything with like kombucha and wine, Greg?
He can add a line, man. Nitro line, fantastic. Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. He's truly the leading man in the industry and hyper-local at its finest. Here's the deal. If you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, boys?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. Get a hold of Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. Simply a phone call away, 720-272-5855. 3809 720 272 3809. It's Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions.
Hey, this is Brother Luck from Colorado Springs. All right, you ready? Owner of 4 by Brother Luck and Lucky Dumplings. I mean, he's a very, very impressive man. And you're rocking with
You're hot.
Heart Radio.
You better believe it. Back to Studio Kitchen, Colorado, and the Modern Eater Show continues. Live on Facebook, too. Checking in with us, Chef Elin Wenzel, Jeff Jabot. Yep, you are. Rocker Spirits working right now, and Sugar Fire is doing great things down there. Culinary Latitude says, hey, Chef Chito. Chef Chito's working in the kitchen hard right now. But in the meantime and in between time, it's time to go to school about spices, Brian.
This is going to be exciting. I've had him at Growers, and he's just an incredible guy with a wealth of knowledge. This is the man who knows how to spice things up.
You've probably heard them all. Spice them up, the spice of life. I don't know. You probably dig deep. But Zach Johnston, for your first appearance on the Modern Eater Show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate it.
Man, you came here the other day. It was like a homie that I just met, but I felt like I've known you forever.
Yeah, but that was mostly you. It's mostly a you thing.
I like that. Yes. See, do you like how? Thank you for keeping him straight. I appreciate that.
That was good stuff, and that's what you're going to get from Zach. You're just an unapologetic guy that works hard in this business. But you started out, restaurant guy, huh?
Yeah, I'm an old school line cook. I went home for 12 plus years smelling like fryer oil every night. So I get the struggle. I still do the struggle. When I'm out of money, I'm in a restaurant working for the weekend trying to hustle.
What a humble guy, man. What a humble guy.
Toledo, Ohio boy.
Yeah, so I'm a blue-collar dude by reputation, and I inherited that part of my life. So Toledo's a great place to be from. We just opened up another distribution center there about 2 months ago, so we've got some clients working in that Midwest area, and then we do all of our East Coast distribution out of that center as well.
We're going to cover it all. I mean, you kind of jumped to Z right there to where you're at right now.
That's where
but
my mind is.
There you were. I believe it.
Well, wait, though. Is he allowed to talk? Are you allowed to talk of why you have an East Coast distribution center?
Yeah, in just a minute. Let's get some background.
Yeah.
You have to wait to hear why.
This is such a cool story. This is this guy.
It's not
started out of Summit.
So Zach
County
in Toledo, running from the law, cleared up his warrants, went to Summit County.
We didn't have to go that deep, man. We did okay, he was born in a hospital from his mama. We're not going to go there.
Still trying to find my dad.
None of that's true, but there you are. You end up in Summit County, and take it from there.
Yeah, so I ended up in Summit. I was making a run at going professional in snowboarding. Got about as far as that was going to take me, and I ended up shattering my pelvis playing for Dew Tour. So that all took a back seat. I went back to school. My teacher asked me, what you think you're going to do
in
with the rest of your life?
retrospect, best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah,
shattering your pelvis.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably,
would you have gone on this path that you're on right now? This journey?
I think I would be selling something. I'm not sure that we would be talking right now, but I'd be selling something. I'm not sure what it is.
So tragedy turned into different. You had to take a left-hand turn in your life.
Yeah. Back to school, sit down in a classroom, get it all sorted out. Graduated, and I cooked my way through college. I didn't really take much for loans, so I just cooked my way through college every night as much as I could. Hung around during the day, studying and trying to get better for snowboarding, and none of that ever happened. So just ended up in a restaurant.
Wait till you hear this story. Listen how he did this.
I needed some special spices for the restaurant. A company that I was buying for was bought out by Cisco, and I told the dude, hey, where am I going to get this? And he told me, you're going to have to figure it out. I'm sorry. No dice on getting it from me anymore. And so, tracked down some dudes in Colorado that knew some people, made some connections, used some kitchen connections that I had, and started sourcing ingredients from internationally. Was like one of my first sourcing deals.
But securing your first client was in your organization right there, right?
It was the restaurant I was working in. I told the owner, I can get this for you. And he was like, oh, cool, it'll be a better deal. And I was like, no, it will be the same deal as you had before.
Yes.
And so I was like, hey, I'm a company in the black. People say they don't make money until year 5. I was like, what's up now?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I love about him. He's a businessman, too.
That's
he's smart.
entrepreneurship at its finest right there. You find a need, you supply the need, and you do it in a way to where hopefully it's seamless. But 6 years later, here you are, right?
Yeah, 6 years later, I still work as much as possible. I love what I'm doing. I think I told Brian when I met with him a couple months ago, I still love going to do deliveries. I love doing production. I told you when I met you last week, this last entire week I was filling barbecue off a machine for a co-pack job. Like I love being in it still. So very much look forward to getting up at 5 a.m. to go to work.
You'll love this. I said, Zach, what's your average day look like? Break it down.
Yeah, up at 5 to work by 5:30. Hanging out, trying to do office work till like 9 or 10. Do some production stuff from like 10 to 1. Make sure everything's floating. Try to get whatever deliveries need to go out the door by like noon. Whoever needs sorted by noon. Whoever's getting fired is getting fired by noon. And then from like 1 on, I'm trying to be in the field, hanging with the homies, seeing the chefs, talking about new products, talking about what blends we can make for people, and then hopefully home by 5 or 6, and then band practice, good night, kiss my baby to sleep, fall asleep on the couch on my wife, and
do it over again.
What instrument do you play, Zach?
I play keys in a band called And the Black Feathers.
Nice. What kind of music? What's your style?
They do Detroit rock and roll.
Nice. A little Bob Seger kind of rock and roll.
I was going to slap him if he said Kid Rock. But
oh, yeah. Well, hey, man, there's something for everyone.
I know. There is. So take that a step further, because I love to talk about entrepreneurship, and I like to talk about and you love culture and how that, and you got a great culture with the Spice Guy. Here's the thing. How do you, I said, do you schedule your day down to the minute? Dude says, I used to.
I did used to. I used to do it down to the minute. It got a little overwhelming, but it was good. It worked for like 4 months, and I probably should do it still. But you go and you meet people like Brian, and you have it scheduled for 45 minutes, and we hung out for 4 hours. And so, there's these moments where you have to take advantage of the people that are letting you into their day. Mm-hmm. So I've been trying to do that as much as possible. So like connecting with people like Josh Walken as often as possible, the owner of Secret Sauce Food and Beverage, which is Steuben's, Vesta, and Ace. Trying to connect with the dudes who run Punch Bowl on a national level as much as possible whenever they're in Denver. Trying to get in with people like Justin Brunson as much as possible, try to get him to touch me in the weirdest places possible as often as he wants to.
He will. He will do that. He's very generous with his touches there, that Justin is.
He is. So trying to get in with, create relationships with owners. Like John Philippe owns all the Tap and Does and all of the bird calls in town. So trying to connect with those dudes to sort of steal some of their culture and some of their wisdom. Like specifically Walken, like he's a dude that I love to steal culture from, because they've done such a good job in their organization.
Give an example of stealing culture.
Well, so Josh was one of the first people that said, like, we're going to do a wellness week, and it's going to be no drinking allowed at the restaurants, like no shifties.
Yep. Yoga retreats.
Yeah, yoga retreats, as much therapy as you want on the house. And I'm sure there's a million things that I don't even know about. These are just like the flyer points that I see.
But way to address them, and that's really when you took a look at your restaurant and in that instance, Vesta, that you really have to look at the culture within and say, how healthy are we? What can I do to give back to the people that give me so much, my lifeline?
Especially when you've been around. It's one thing when you're starting a new place. You get caught up in a lot of stuff, and you don't necessarily start that from the beginning. But someone like Vesta and Steuben's and the Ace, franchise that he has built, and, what a great job that he's done, all local.
He probably had to address those things for himself. I think I heard him have a couple of talks at the Colorado Restaurant Association. I heard him do a wellness talk. And those are the exact things that you have to take a look at those things, and we're all so similar in how we're created, but especially in the service industry where it's all about giving, continually giving, that sense of servitude that you do, and you neglect yourself.
Oh, totally. My wife will tell you I'm the first person to not pay attention to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing with it, being an entrepreneur, I'll tell you, because it's all about creating and this vision to make it come true.
Here's what I want to ask you, and we can answer it after the break. But here it is, the entrepreneurial conundrum of where you have an idea of what you want to do as the Spice Guy. And you grow and you grow, but you say, here's a certain point of where I don't know much more than what I know. I don't know what I don't know at that point. So how do you go into that different era with the Spice Guy? I want you to answer that next, and Zach Johnston's here with us at Studio Kitchen, Colorado. But that's a really big thing, especially when you own the lion's share of your. I think you have one guy that sweated into your company, but it's just you. How do you grow to that point? And that's where we'll get into that East Coast distribution right there. It all ties in. All's well in the world right here. And Greg Hollenbach, Jay Parker, Brian Freeman, Zach Johnston. We'll continue right here from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. We're going to send it off to Little Rich, but take a break right now on our iHeart Radio station, 630 KHAL.
Thanks for throwing it over, Greg. That was a great segment. Zach, you're everywhere. Geez, you're at the table. You're back over here. I wanted to bring this over for you. I want to back cleanup.
Okay.
So I know you guys just had a powerful segment talking on spices, on personal care, on all these things. Was there anything that you missed that you want to, here's your chance.
Yeah. So I just, we've got everything for sale on our website. We try to connect with as many restaurants as we can. So we've got about 600 restaurant partners across Colorado, 900 on a national level. And we're trying to connect with as many restaurants and chefs as possible to sort of help with the problems that we're facing now. So everybody has a labor shortage. Everybody needs more money. We're trying to help with as many of those issues as we can.
Yeah.
And you can get our stuff all around Denver. We're in St. Killian's. We're in a couple of shops around town. You can buy all of our stuff online.
How do we find you?
So if you just,
how do we jump in?
Yeah, so if you want to jump on Instagram, we are at the Spice Guy CO.
Okay.
And if you want to check us out online, it's www.thespiceguyco.com.
Thespiceguyco.com.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Rich. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for coming, Zach. And I know we're going to be hearing a lot more from this guy. We're going to take a break, pay a couple bills. Listen, these guys will make you better.
Johnston, the Spice Guy. Zach says he can't be stumped on a spice.
Live in 1.5.
Or just tell us your favorite spice. 303-713-8255. We'll get you on when the Modern Eater continues.
Hey, it's Peter Allman with South River Aquaponics. As a chef and aquaponics farmer, I get the importance of conserving our limited water supply. Did you know Colorado is suffering from the most severe drought since 2012? Water shortages are very real, especially to Colorado farmers. Now here's the good news. Aquaponic farming uses 90% less water than traditional farming, while producing 4.5
Live in 1.
But using traditional farming techniques, farmers would flood their fields with large quantities of water, leaving much of this water underutilized and just plain wasted. But because aquaponics is a recirculating system, the only water used is what the plants uptake and some very minor evaporation. South River Aquaponics has been running a 55,000-gallon system year-round for 4 years, and we use less than 500 gallons of water per day. Education is very important to us here at South River Aquaponics. I invite you to learn more about aquaponics at southriveraquaponics.com. South River Aquaponics.
And 30.
Hey Colorado, this is Brian Freeman, owner of Growers Organic and a host on the Modern Eater Talk Show. Growers Organic is a Colorado sourcing company who provides Colorado's greatest chefs with the best organic produce. I've been partnering with local and regional farms for the last 20 years, and our returning customers know they can count on us over and over again. Chefs who receive the highest rating on Good Food 100 choose Growers Organic.
10.
Needs because we're experts at bridging the gap between the farm and the table. Join us in the organic
3, 2, 1. You're hot.
Organic.com.
Okay, back to the Modern Eater Show in a minute with the Spice Guy. But here's the deal. I got copy for Proud Soul Barbecue and Provisions. But these, if you don't know yet, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'll hand that to Zach. Zach, just take a couple of points out of there. But these are partners with you. You can get your spices at Proud Souls, can't you?
Dan, the owners of Proud Souls, they're award-winning competition cooks and purveyors of specialty barbecue supplies. And these dudes literally have everything. You can go there and get a smoker. You can get fuel for your smoker, so pellets. You can get all kinds of different types of wood. You can get spices. You can get seasonings. You can get sauces. You can get meat. You can get River Bear meat. You can get Midland meat from Texas. And these dudes know what they're doing so much that if you just walk in and say, hey, I know nothing about the world.
They'll say, welcome.
They'll sit you down, give you a 20-minute lecture on how to do it. They also run a bunch of cool classes out of there that have been like detrimental for people that I know to be able to cook edible food. And not only edible, but enjoyable.
That's right.
Which is totally a different thing. But yeah, these guys are award winners, meat eaters, and expert smokers, and they're excited to share their knowledge with you. Go ahead and look them up on ProudSoulsBarbecue.com. Or if you're in Denver, feel free to swing by them. They're at 24th and Federal, right next to the brand new Snarfs over there.
Man, and you did that so great. I appreciate it. And then listen, you nailed it. But that's when it just comes from the heart, and that's how we talk about these guys. Tony, Dan, Chris, over there at Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. They're going to make sure that you have your backyard the way that you want your backyard. They're not going to do the hard sell on you, and trust me, don't go to one of those big box stores and do an impulse buy. Go in and see the experts. It's 25th and Federal. They're our guys. It's Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions.
They're also doing a barbecue competition on May 18th.
And we'll be there.
We'll be there. I'll be a judge there.
You will?
For better or worse.
All right, man. All right, let's hit it.
We'll talk after the show. I got something special for you.
Let's do in the kitchen.
Feed me now.
This is the Modern Eater Show.
That's right, boy. I'm starving.
And now it's time for In the...
You're hot.
How am I supposed to keep on feeding you? Kill people? Brought to you by
Proud Souls Barbecue and Provisions. Award-winning competition cooks and purveyors of specialty barbecue supplies right here in Denver, Colorado. ProudSoulsBBQ.com.
Feed me all night long.
No joking, man. Those dudes are always smoking, and it's all night long. It truly is. We were at the Colorado Finals barbecue competition. They brought home first place for their ribs. I mean, just no problem. But
7th place overall, I think.
7th place overall. These guys take it serious, and they love what they do in barbecue.
But they're great guys. They're super approachable. They're very humble. Just like, hey, come down, check it out. They don't make you feel really embarrassed that you might not
That you know nothing about anything.
You know.
Another guy that makes me feel really embarrassed that I don't know anything about anything, but it's spices. And Zach, I just want to absorb your knowledge. I need to hang out with you more, man. And it's spice related. Nothing more, nothing.
We can do whatever you want.
we can. All right. Yeah, we're pros.
Snowboarding.
I'm down for whatever.
What a great addition to the show, and I think you're going to hear Zach's voice a lot more. But the Spice Guy, the question that I asked you, do you remember the question I asked you before we broke off?
I do.
How do you come to that level of an entrepreneur? And that's a lot of the problem that I have, and I see a lot of entrepreneurs have, is that control thing of what you know, what your vision is, how you see it, but you can only grow your company to that point to where you're going to hit a ceiling, just as Zach. How do you infuse different energy? What are you doing now at this point to bring the Spice Guy brand to that next level?
A lot of it is instinct, honestly. Like, I've got two things. I've got instinct, and I've got a palate that I've worked on, like Arnold worked on his body, right? I've put my palate through rigorous testing, trying to figure out what's what, get something super dialed in. I've built my own flavor wheel, which is like my wife does hair, so she had a color wheel, and I was like, that's super nice to be able to look at all these contrasting and close enough flavors. So I built one of my own for spices specifically. The second part of that question is that with your board of advisors, you better be the dumbest dude in the room when you walk in there. If you're going to go anywhere with your company, you better have a board of advisors that is way smarter than you are.
Interesting.
So we don't have like a board of trustees that gets paid. We have a bunch of volunteers that just are invested in watching us grow purely from a standpoint of anything but financial, because we have no money to give them.
How do you deal with that feedback when you are the Spice Guy?
Yeah, so ultimately, like I said, instinct. Like if I go to Brian and say, I've got this issue, how have you solved it? And he gives me an answer that I don't like, I'm going to ask a few more people. And if it's the same answer over and over, I'm going to take what he said to heart. And I'm going to do that anyways. But if he tells me something that I don't really think is going to work or think is going to happen, I'll ponder it for as long as I can. And then ultimately, like, it's my call. It's an instinct deal. I've been wrong before, hundreds of times. But ultimately, like, we're just going for what we know. And I think a lot of it is keep it simple. While you were here the other day, you said, like, that's how your restaurant inside of you, like, you got to touch every table.
Yeah.
Like, our philosophy is to be in every restaurant every week. And
Well, you said that each one of my customers is going to hear from us once a week.
At least.
And I said, that's got to be your restaurant background, man, because you go touch tables.
Yep.
That's what you do. You get the pulse of who you're doing business with. Feedback, everything comes from that. But how you do that and how you're going to maintain that as you grow, that should be an interesting thing, especially
Well, Greg, though, he said one thing. He's not afraid to fail. And that's the sign of a true entrepreneur. Because, listen, it's not about how far we succeed, but how many times we fell down and got back up to make sure the vision, the dream came true. And Zach's living that dream.
Chito.
Yo.
Hey, man. gosh, let's talk about spices here for a few minutes, man. You brought us a lot of cool stuff, and basically what you said to us is, here's what I think the fundamentals are going to be for you. Can you do that, Zach, just with your expertise? What are the fundamentals that, let's just say, any home cook should have in their cabinet?
So just like a basic run of spices that everybody should have. We've got it for sale on our website. It's called a Rack in a Box. It's like a play off a Justin Timberlake song that we thought was really funny. And so we do this Rack in a Box, and it's 8 essential spices and 8 blends that we think every restaurant or every home kitchen really should have. So it's a retail size deal. But we think everybody should have a cumin, a coriander, garlic, onion, and we do our garlic and onion together because we just think that it was a really cool concept. It's easy. They should both go in everything. You've got an oregano in there, a black pepper, a really cool salt from Italy. So it's a Sicilian salt from one of the the oldest salt work in the world. So it's a Trapani sea salt. And then, we've got a bunch of other of our most popular blends in there to get people excited about cooking and make it easy. And when you walk to the grill, when you go to Proud Souls and buy your stuff and they hand you a box, a thank you box, that's our spices in there as a way for you to get acquainted with spices and our brand in general. And kind of the philosophy that I've put into spices has been, hey, let's go and let's do something that looks really cool, tastes really good, and has an in-your-face flavor. Like, I don't know that anybody's ever told me that I'm a nonchalant, not in-your-face person. So, like, my flavors are bold. It's a little bit like my personality, but the sourcing on everything is probably one of the most important things to me fundamentally. We're trying to go as close to the source as we can. So I was telling these guys the other day, our garlic that we sell is an 8-year process before it touches any consumer.
Love this.
That's so it's cool. 4 years into a Petri dish of being split. It's one of the only GMO-free certified spices in the world is our garlic and onion. And
Can you take 30 seconds on how that's possible?
Yeah, so 4 years in a Petri dish and then 2 years growing on the coast of California, very close to Nevada. It's a 100 square mile farm. They only grow garlic on the inside 25 miles so that they can assure that no Monsanto, no BS is getting in there.
I love that.
They pull it after 2 years of it growing up there and start planting it from the coast on California. So they go from south to north over the growing season. So starting down in San Diego and going all the way up to San Francisco.
Wow.
Well, Andy's so tied into his farms that he's pulling this product from. I mean, he was just telling me a story before the show.
Hey, Jared, I don't have a clock. How much time do we have left in this segment? Back in the studio. Hey, Zach, will you co-host the whole second hour of this show with us and talk about tap lines and beer and Bloody Mary mix and that kind of stuff?
I would love
I don't want to get rid of you, man. Okay, I think we have about 30 seconds left, but people, we have a lot of chefs, a lot of restaurateurs to listen to the show. The 20, 30-second pitch of why to get a hold of the Spice Guy.
It's honestly a service and it's a dedication thing. We never let our customers run out. We come and do a table touch every single week, take your inventory for you, let you know what we think you might need, check out with you. You bring it back to us with what you need. We send it out a few days later. You're happy, we're happy. You've got some of the best products from some of the coolest farms in the world, and we're happy because we got to bring it to you.
He won me over. I mean,
that's awesome.
He's
a great guy.
He really did. Zach Johnston, cool dude, classy dude. He's a pro. You saw him do that Proud Souls thing. I think you got a future in media too, man. I don't know if you want to branch out to that.
Sorry, I got to get up.
All right, here we go. The Modern Eater Show will continue right here on iHeartRadio.
To lose weight.
Hello, Modern Eater viewers that are staying with us on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm going to talk loud so we can get heard in this room. First off, is everyone having a good time tonight here? Yes. You can't see all the people that are in here, but we can. And so I'm going to spend this time, we're going to thank one of our OG sponsors, Jeff and Kristen York from A+ Beverage Solutions. They were, I believe, Greg, is this correct? Sponsor one. So this is the OG. I want to, on behalf of us, thank you guys. Look what you've helped do.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure.
Yeah. It's very selfless what you've done, because I know we've helped your business, but by doing this, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping the whole community, which does come back.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun for us, too.
It's just been a good time, So.
Exactly. So what's new at A+ Beverage?
We're trying to get ready for the newest family member here.
Nice.
Just trying to keep all of our jobs up to speed. And we're doing the new Monarch Casino up in Black Hawk, the new tower.
That's a huge job.
It's our biggest job to date. Wow. And it's quite a bit of work. And then we got the new Alamo Draft House Westminster going on. We're got some Mama Pop's Full House. Going to redo his system. So we got a bunch of things on the books that we're just trying to keep them moving on. Resolute's new location they're doing. Wow. Yeah, we've been busy. So
Just all over the place, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are busy. Thanks for taking the time to come down here and share a little bit with us.
It was difficult.
I would want to be home in the recliner. I've got a heck of a massage chair. I would want to be in that, but thank you.
That'd be nice, but we like to come out. We got the nanny tonight, so brought the Harley out and gotta get away.
So that was your Harley?
Yeah.
Took a little cruise down Federal.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, watching everybody set up for Cinco de Mayo. So
awesome. Well, here's what I want to ask. So we know you do the installs of a big new system like at the Monarch.
Yes.
So do you help engineer and design the systems and like advise them on what they should?
Yeah. I spent many of hours with the electricians and plumbers going over CAD drawings. Making sure that the routing was correct and with our towers work and where we're going to locate the chillers, because the lines are so long at Monarch, we have to put booster units in, which means that we have 2 sets of glycol chillers or the beer will be warm. So it's a lot. It's a lot of forward thinking to go into, because when you do a beer system, we cross almost every trade set of plumbing, electrical, framing, you name it. We're all over the place. Millwork. I mean, if we're last minute, it can really disrupt somebody's timeline.
Sure.
Or you have to go back and tear out a finished product, and it costs them money. So we spend a lot of time talking with architects, designers.
It helps us to be involved from the beginning, because otherwise it creates more smoother, jobs.
Absolutely.
So.
And I can imagine the expertise you bring to a project, because they have their certain mindset, but many times, us in the industry, we get stuck in our own walls. And we're not seeing what this brewery is doing, what this casino is doing, what that restaurant is doing. And I'm sure you're able to bring that in if they will listen to you.
Yeah, you're right.
Am I right?
If they will listen. But for the most part, like I said, I've said it numerous times on the show, we like to execute our customers' goals and dreams.
Sure,
And that comes back to us more listening and then asking qualifying questions to our clients.
Sure.
And making sure that we have a clear path to what their vision is. And whether that's trying to match motifs or custom towers or budgetary concerns, or trying to keep it within their budget, or just all kinds of different things. A lot of things pop up.
Nice.
Now that we're also one of the last things thought about in a restaurant, because we're a very small piece of the build, but like I said, we cross every trade. So a lot of people get surprised when it comes to, well, where's the underground, where's the electrical, where's the power for this, where are you going to put this, where's your gas source, where's your CO2 monitors.
Sure.
There's a lot of things that go in there, and it's getting more and more involved from the state, that we have to make sure that all their ducks in a row for us to execute that result.
Now, I've got a question for you. What size jobs do you prefer to stay in? Are you the small or the big casinos, or what?
The jobs that I like to stay in are the jobs.
I love it.
That's about.
I love it.
Yeah, that's about it. My biggest customer is the same to me as the guy.
Love them all the same.
Love them all the same. I'm not going to cut corners or shortcuts for them versus a bigger guy, just because of the size of the job. It's not.
They're all just as important.
Sure. Now, another question, because we've got people that watch us all over the place. I got phone calls from New York for tortillas.
Mm-hmm.
So geographically, where do you like to stay in?
We go all over the place. There's some quality installers nationwide, but we've done 3 jobs in New York. We've done 1 in New Jersey. We've done California, Minnesota, Wisconsin. We've done a bunch of California, so we're all over the place. And it's pretty much when we get a good customer and that we communicate clearly with it, and they want to follow us they like to keep the quality work the same. So
Fantastic. Well, thank you. How do we get a hold of you? How do people jump into the A+ Beverage Solutions pond?
You can see us at aplusbeveragesolutions.com or 720-272-3809.
Well said, my friend. Hey, we're going to take a little break here. I want you to watch a little bit about some sponsors. We've got some great ones. They've been curated. Jay's waving at me, telling me to shut up. So I am going to shut up.
Parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
It's time for the second course, hour number 2 of the Modern Eater.
What are you hungry for?
Here's to a meal we're all here for.
Delicious and tasty.
Now we're getting to the good stuff. With your hosts, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, and Brian Freeman.
You better believe it. Here we are, the second hour of the Modern Eater Show fires up right now from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. As we continue, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, Brian Freeman, Zach Johnston, the Spice Guy, is going to stick around and co-host with us as we continue with, here's a couple of my favorites right here. Hyper local at its finest. Small business people, and just watching your business grow has been such a pleasure to me. Entrepreneurs galore in the room tonight. And Jeff and Kristen Rourke, welcome back to the Modern Eater Show.
What's going on, Greg?
Thank you.
A+ Beverage Solutions. First of all, let's do this. It's a quick game. What does A+ Beverage Solutions and the Spice Guy have in common? Does anybody know?
We're local.
Yeah.
Local. There you go, Kristen.
You both work very closely with Punch Bowl Social.
Oh, that's another one.
Did you know that?
I was going to say we drink as much as we want at night and then get up when the alarm goes off in the morning.
Sometimes.
Talk about your relationship with Punch Bowl Social.
It's a lovely one. We worked with Christina before he got to Punch Bowl, so he was with Breckenridge Brewery before that, the entire group. And when he went over there, he brought us on as well. So we do national for them. So all their spices, all their flour mixes for their fried chicken, their waffle mix, quite a few different products for those guys. And so we opened up our distribution center in Toledo specifically to fund the Punch Bowl deal because Denver to Atlanta was a 5-day shipping and Denver to Arlington, Virginia is a 5-day shipping. So we shortened it up for them by opening a distribution center in Toledo, and that was sort of what kick-started us to be able to grow that market from our business. And yeah, that's a partnership that we love and make sure that we keep and do whatever. I was at Punch Bowl Stapleton 7 times this week for samples and menu testing. And
hats off to Punch Bowl.
Totally. Well, they found 2 great guys because it spices all their stores and who has done all their taps
Kristen
right
Rourke,
there.
What's your relationship with Punch Bowl Social?
Our relationship is great. They have a very aggressive growth plan this year, so I don't know if we'll be able to maintain that growth curve, but we're going to give it our best. So
we'll be spending a lot of time in Texas together.
We're currently working on the Dallas location, and then I believe Austin, Fort Worth. Fort Worth is already going, but we are not doing that one because their growth plan is so aggressive. They brought in another company to kind of help split things up. So
gotcha.
But we did. I think Dallas is our 18th location or something like that.
Yeah.
I have a premonition for you. I do. I have a premonition that once you get everything set up, they're going to be calling you back to help with those other stores that they couldn't use you on. But, that's just a premonition. I mean.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I would never wish that upon anybody.
Yeah.
But I will say 20% of my business is redoing other people's work. So.
It keeps us busy.
Yeah.
Here's what else you have in common. So hyper local, work with Punch Bowl Social. I'm sure you guys work with a lot of other restaurants that intertwine. But family folks.
Yeah.
And Zach, how old's your little daughter, Parker?
11 months.
11 months.
Congratulations.
Charlie is a year, 15 months, 16 months?
16 months.
16 months.
Yep.
And another one on the way.
Yep. I was going to say congratulations because where they are growing is Kristen. Every time I see you, you keep growing.
Thank you.
Growing little babies. I love it. I love it.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Don't get me in trouble.
That's right. Thanks for bringing me there tonight. No vegetarian options. And Brian Freeman.
Oh, no. We've got some killer trumpet mushrooms over here.
Yeah.
You should tie into all these mushrooms from Hazeldale, cooked in several different ways. There's some good vegetarian stuff over there. And I'll tell you, if you tell any of these chefs, they'll do something for you.
Jay's got something to say. Hold on.
Chef Chito made a vegetarian dish special for Kristen. Or at least that's what I'm saying. But he did make a vegetarian dish.
It's a mushroom-based ceviche.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
So it's more than just here's a plate of fungus, enjoy. Like he did some stuff with it to make it taste good.
Oh, that's good.
He was looking out for you.
Let's do a few scenarios. So Jay, he pours draft beers incessantly. I mean, how many nights a week, Jay?
And he pours cheap draft beer, so that usually foams, doesn't it?
4 nights a week. Well, I mean, any beer can foam, I mean, certain high-quality beers may foam less. But I'll tell you this much, and it's ironic because it's a testimonial, but it's also not BS in the sense of when I'm pouring beers now, and I know what beer we have on tap, and it'd be a great beer and an expensive beer, and I know the brewery, so I know that the beer is good. And I swear, and don't mention the name of where it is. If you know me, you know where it is, but I don't want to do that. But I'm not joking when it's just 3 pitchers of foam to get 1 pint of beer.
Jay, what are you doing?
Oh, well I'm pouring somebody else's money down the drain.
Somebody else's money.
Zach, you go to, and that problem happens a lot. I'm in a predominant Cherry Creek, just a grill, and not Cherry Creek Grill, but sitting down, and they're pouring these beers, and I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah.
How easy is that to fix, Jeff?
Here's an example. We went through and we fixed Haters and Company, and we just had a split a CO2 line, and it was about $160 repair, and to help their yields up because they were under heavy demand, their gas couldn't supply enough pressures to the system to maintain stability. So it can go anywhere from a $5 part up to a $10,000 part. It just depends on how the system was designed, who installed it. Not really who installed it, but how was it installed.
Sure.
Jeff, how'd you get into this? How'd you become so smart around this?
After I got out of the Navy,
He likes to drink beer.
I applied for a job at a warehouse, and it was at a beverage warehouse. And so I was thinking Pepsi or Coke because it never dawned on me to even think that there was a giant warehouse full of booze and beer. It's just you never think of that. And so I went and I interviewed for a company, and they said, "Hey, we got an opening for a line cleaning position for cleaning beer lines." So I was 22 years old, and I got a job cleaning lines for a big distributor company out here. And then from there, I took over the service department and helped grow their business. And then I was getting a lot of calls from other installers to go fix some of their systems because they would try and push it off on us to help them out because they were so busy.
Here's where the entrepreneur's light bulb goes off in their head, though, right? I mean, just at that moment, it's like, okay, well, where can I come in? Because most people stop short and just say, okay, I'm going to go home and watch Netflix. But you're like, I'm going to fulfill a need.
So, I did. So I came up with a game plan and an exit plan on how to build my name in the market on somebody else's dollar. and then started my own gig, and it's been going pretty good since then. So, but I started out, at the bottom and worked my way up to the top. I've been to some draft training schools and everything else. But you really can't replace the experience.
Well, it just didn't start yesterday. How long have you been doing it?
What
well, if he was 22.
Don't age yourself.
Yeah, 22 years. So 22 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's insane.
So if it's all in the name, and you look at the Spice Guy, you know what he's doing. A+ Beverage Solutions. What does that mean to you and folks that say I need the solution?
That's why I put it in there. I always tell my guys, I'm like, it's in our name. Solutions. You come up with a solution. You don't give them objection. We're here to solve a problem for them, to make their business more profitable, to make their system more money in their pocket. So.
And you want to give that A+ report card?
I do. I stand behind everything we do. We had an account recently that had a chiller that was out of warranty, and I felt that it was something that should have been by warranty. So we spent the money to replace it out of pocket. Even though it was out of warranty, just because
the right thing to do.
It was definitely the right thing to do, and they saw that, they appreciate that, and now we've earned their business for life.
Zach, what's an example of doing the right thing where it's cost you a little bit of cash?
being at Punch Bowl 7 days, 7 times last week.
Yeah, do the right thing. And
I mean, it's always that thing, replacing exactly what you had nothing to do with. We ship stuff across the country, UPS, and they constantly break it. What can Brown break for you? That's our saying at work.
Yeah.
So we're constantly replacing it instantly without knowing if we're going to get a refund, and typically you don't from such a large corporation, just in the same exact scenario.
The excuses they have are amazing.
Infinite.
Tens of thousands of dollars of equipment broken shipping across the U.S. through.
I always say reach out to these guys, Jeff and Kristen Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Lots of restaurateurs, lots of breweries. They listen to us, and I think everybody looks at, well, oh my goodness, if I call you and if I have it done right, piecing it together, I mean, there's something to that, to be able to be resourceful and do things for yourself. But the professional that comes in, that has your best interest in mind, you're really going to do that for folks. People that want to reach out to you, they say, well, he's busy, he's doing Punch Bowl Social, those types of things. What do they do? Because you become a fixture of the show. We say, if you're pouring in a fish and beer, what are you doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
We don't want people to pour their money down the drain. Just get a hold of Jeff and Kristen and give them that reason why, what you can do to save that money.
All it takes is a phone call, and we'll walk the site and see what's going on. Like I said, sometimes it's something super simple, and sometimes it's something that takes a little more in depth to fix it.
But we can figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
What was the hardest job you've done?
The hardest job that we've done.
Tap 14, what was that? How many lines was that?
Tap 14 was 70 faucet, but that was not the hardest job that we've done. Probably the hardest one that we've done in recent day was Punch Bowl Social Arlington in Virginia.
Small space?
Just the infrastructure.
You been there?
Was lacking.
What's the longest glycol line you've ever?
The longest one that we're currently doing it. It's in Monarch. We have 3,100 feet of line in there.
Whoa!
And
how many is that? A keg of beer in 3,100 feet?
That's more than that. So for every foot of 3/8 ID line, which is the inside diameter of a beer line, you have 3/4 of an ounce. So you would multiply whatever it is by your foot of run times the amount of lines that you have. And then times that by 0.75, then divide that into a 15.5 keg is 1984 ounces.
How do you keep it fresh? That's what I've always wondered is how do you keep the stuff that's in the line overnight for weeks if maybe someone doesn't buy that beer for a week?
A beer system is a sealed system, so in theory, you're not letting any oxygen into it from the second that you tapped it. From the second that the breweries are producing it, kegging it, to it goes onto the system that's set up correctly, and you're on the right gas sources, and the temperature is correct, your beer from beginning to end should be just good. Now, the loophole to that would be how long it's been online, because everything kind of loses freshness over time. So if you're rotating your product in a timely manner.
Like your underwear, Brian.
Yeah.
That's twice a day, babe.
Twice a day, yeah. then you would never have stale beer. All right?
Yep.
Twice a day.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I say this all the time, and Jeff and Kristen Rourke, you want to talk about people that if you like the Modern Eater Show, you listen. It's in part by these guys. Our longest running sponsors. They believe in this community, but they put their money where their mouth is. That's a big deal. It means so much to us. We love you guys so much. How's Emily doing?
She's good.
She's doing good?
She's doing great, yeah.
The Easy Does It Foundation. And if you've heard a couple of the fundraisers, we're going to do more back here at Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Good stuff, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure
What's
to see
this?
you too.
I always try and get them to name one of their babies Greg. And
Good
we
luck.
gotta have a boy first.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. And if it's a boy, it would be somebody else, right? What was it? It would be...
It'd be Jay, I think.
Luke. Oh,
Jay.
Jay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You remember when you first met Jay?
Let me clarify that. That would be no. I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all grown up.
I know.
He is.
Jay, are you still wearing earrings?
Yeah.
It depends on which body part you're looking at. Those hoops are on there.
I still tell. So what Jeff is referring to. So what he says when I see him, and we don't see each other that often. Obviously, everybody's busy in life. But when I do see him, so one of the casual little zings he does me is just in the most calm and cool voice, and he goes, hey, he's like, you still wearing those earrings, huh? And I go, yeah. And he goes, yeah, I remember being 18.
All love in the family, man. Good to see you guys. Well, what's the latest and greatest project that's coming up? And then how can people, well, they know how to get a hold of you, 720-272-3809.
Yeah, and then our website, aplusbev.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look them up there. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Love these guys. We don't get to catch up with them often, but when we do, Jeff and Kristen Rourke from A Plus Beverage Solutions. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll come back. Zach, he took off to go hang out with Biker Jim in the corner with Little Rich. We're going to do a margarita mix coming up next, and then Tommyknocker Brewery. That's all straight ahead, Brian.
Ooh, I'm loving it.
Right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Okay, guys, Facebook and YouTube family, we've got the 4 amigos here. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got Zach, Jim, Lincoln.
You remember.
Me.
Finally. Oh, hi, Rich.
We're going to talk a little bit about this event that's coming up. That Jim's kind of the head guy on this.
Well,
what's coming up in a couple Mondays, Jim?
1 Monday and a half, basically. We're doing Colorado 5 at Biker Jim's next Monday, the 13th. The theme of this is upscale lowlife, and I regret to tell you guys, it's a sold-out event. You're going to miss me practicing my chicken fried steak, which has become quite famous these days.
Absolutely.
As soon as I figure out how to work the recipe. I've yet to perfect it, but I'm working on it. We're going to be using spices from
the Spice Guy.
Spice Guy.
And then
I'm sure there's going to be some.
Lincoln is supplying the seafood. It's going to be off the hook crazy. The menu is amazing.
Jim will be.
I'll tell you about it. Sorry you're missing out.
Yep. And what is that website? 5colorado.com. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Travis, from Denver 5. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
What do you get when you mix Bloody and Mary together?
I'm terrified.
A Bloody Mary, man. We're going to talk about them next Sunday, man. That's tomorrow. You know it is. And, hey, I put all the crazy stuff in my Bloody Marys.
I bet you do.
Give us a call. Tell us what you put in yours. 303-713-8255.
Bacon. If you've got a business and need a website or need a graphic designer, F. Johnson Design does it all. Take the headache out of trying to build your own website or design graphics. Who has time for that? F. Johnson Design will get you up and running with a professional and great-looking website. Design sharp graphics to your specifications and have your site up faster than you think. Logo, package design, SEO coding, and more. F. Johnson Design did the Modern Eaters website. Go to themoderneater.com to check out some of their work. Reach out to F. Johnson Design at fjohnsondesign.com.
Hey, it's Chef Elon Wenzel, owner of Element Knife Company. If you cook, then you'll know the importance of a quality knife and proper care. My training in Japan exposed me to exceptional cutlery. That's why I am so excited to offer you the knives I fell in love with. Element Knife Company is chef-driven, and my goal is to support and educate. Get at me for a knife clinic or conversation. Find me at element.com or by simply calling 303-460-4628. For the best knives in your kitchen, think Element Knife Company.
You know, Belgian-style beers are getting more and more popular, for good reason. And while a lot of breweries make the odd Belgian beer or two, Brews Beers in Denver does all Belgian-style beers. I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster, and we do badass Belgian-style beers like nobody else. From the classics to creative Belgian-inspired styles, we have 15 on tap in our big tasting room and patio. Handcrafted wit beers, blondes, ambers, and saisons. High-octane doubles, triples, and quads, plus sours, barrel-aged beers, and special rare bottle releases. We have food trucks every day, plus a bistro next door. And your dog is welcome. Check us out at brewsbeers.com. Brews Beers, spelled B-R-U-Z, 1675 West 67th Avenue in North Denver. Your best choice for Belgian-style badassery. Can I pour you one?
Hi, everybody. This is Chef Carrie Baird from Bardo here in Denver. Ooh, okay, that sounds good. And you are listening to The Modern Eater on iHeartRadio.
It's an inflatable mattress. And then Sundays, what's better than a Bloody Mary? What a segment that is, right? Starting got a bed at your office, and then here it is.
got another Summit connection here, don't we?
Yes, we are opening a restaurant in Silverthorne this year in November, and we'll do a lot of fun things with Bloody Marys. We have daily brunch, so we'll have stuff going on.
You know the Spice Guy?
I think we have met. Yeah, hi.
I like
Thank
this.
you.
New connection
Right on.
right here.
Yes, thanks, guys.
A lot of network rekindled. It's really cool. Where do we start? Talk about this brand, too.
So I started in 2016 because I saw a need for some fun flavors of Bloody Mary mix. So much of what you see out there now is just mild or spicy, and a lot of restaurants make just some subpar mix, throw some tomato juice in with salt, pepper, and just doesn't taste that great. So I thought it'd be fun to have different flavors. So come out, we have a roasted garlic, cucumber dill, mango jalapeno, pineapple habanero, and then a pepper mix that's made with jalapenos, serranos, and habanero peppers.
Wow, stop it. That's the lineup there, and is that the signature?
Yeah, if you guys want to try them. So just the roasted garlic, cucumber dill, mango jalapeno, pineapple habanero, and pepper.
Facebook Live. Check it out right now.
You want to check this out.
Okay, Zach, you're our number one guy. I'll do cleanup on it.
You're gonna, yeah.
I'll be the. So go ahead, Zach. Do this number one.
Such a nice guy.
I know. So do the play-by-play for me.
So this is the roasted garlic, very savory taste of roasted garlic, great for brunch. Throw some bacon in that. Might need a little mix-up, little stir with all the vodka and blue sauce.
Is this full fuel or no fuel? Or
It has some vodka in it, yeah. Yeah.
Too spicy. Brian can't take real spicy. Do you have something for Brian? No.
That one is it right there. That's the garlic. I like it. I like it. You know.
That's delicious.
Yeah, it's not too overpowering. It is real nice.
Let's go. So as you do like beers and bourbons and that kind of stuff, you kind of go a little lighter. Is there a method to your madness right there?
So these go from least spicy to most spicy. Both the roasted garlic and the cucumber dill don't have any peppers in it. So.
What do we got here, Brian?
That's different. I'll tell you. That, yeah. Yeah, it really is. For Bloody Mary, it's totally something different.
Zach, I expect you to be able to pick out every little nuance.
It was cucumber. I can pick out cucumber. I got married and they had cucumber water when I got married, so my hangover for the entire day was cucumber water hangover. So that is good, but I don't usually do cucumber.
Yeah. It's interesting though. I see, and it finishes with the dill.
It does. The dill is the dill is nice. So when we talk about flavor building, we have a blend bar at the Spice Guy. So when we talk about building profiles, we always talk about trying to make it a roller coaster of sorts. So you have one really big climb of a hill, you go down, it comes up one more half, and then finishes becoming nice. So you've got the roller coaster nailed with the cucumber.
Yeah, exactly. And same with the fruitier flavors. We'll get to next. You get the fruit on the front, the sweetness, and then the peach in the back.
Let's do that. I want to do that.
Yeah. So the mango jalapeno is actually my favorite. Little bit sweet, little bit of meat, not too spicy.
I'm going for it.
So is that I'm still back on what you were saying there, Zach. Is that like the flavor from beginning to end of a cake?
Yeah, so like when it comes into your palate, you want it to be climbing.
And so you climax first, and then you come back and then come.
Yeah,
where does that?
You should always
come on,
first. So you take it and you're starting at zero and you're climbing, coming down, and then you're coming down that hill, and then you have one more flavor, and then that last flavor should be your finish.
So do you taste that? Because mango forward, and then you get a little bit of spice on the back end of that.
These are very good. And I love the one-off that you do. This is very cracked as far as it goes with lemon.
And this is a guy before the second he says I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not big on bloodies.
It's one of those things. But when I was a kid,
This is a little spicy. It has habanero in it. The pineapple habanero. It's more.
your taste changed as you evolved throughout the years. But I wasn't big blue pizza. Love blue pizza. Mushrooms, didn't like them. Like mushrooms now. Still hate water stuff. Bloody Mary is coming back on. I think it's a more mature taste.
Yeah, I remember mine for beer.
I got to tell you, all of these, Zach, fit that profile that you described, the roller coaster. Because again, the pineapple, right up front, big pineapple, but then you come down into some spice, and the spice is actually still carrying on the back end. So it's nice.
Lingering on that one.
This is the pepper. This is a mix of serranos, jalapenos, and habanero pepper. So it's going to be very pepper forward, but it's a whole different flavor profile pepper.
That last one, climax.
What's crazy, this almost tastes like my traditional, except with good spice, where I can taste, that truly is almost like the traditional Bloody Mary.
So, and the secret to these are you use high quality, all natural ingredients. You don't do anything artificial, everything real seasonings in these mixes, and that really makes a difference.
Why is that important to you?
Because it's just
Other
not.
than-
Well, a lot of times, as I mentioned, when restaurants make them, they're just using tomato juice,
Yeah.
throwing some salt and pepper in there. You got to add the garlic salt and the onion powder and garlic powder and all those different seasonings, plus a lot of other seasonings, and that gives it that really great full flavor that you don't get usually with Bloody Marys.
Adds to the experience, I think.
Oh,
I mean,
I thought they were delicious.
Thanks.
more and more these
Thank
days.
you.
So, you have a commercial kitchen? Where are you making this?
So we did start in a commercial kitchen. We started making them there, selling at farmers markets and festivals, and then it took off really well. So we started selling through a distributor, and we're in over 150 stores and restaurants throughout Colorado.
Shut the front door.
Congratulations.
That's fantastic.
Thanks.
That's good, right, Zach?
No, that's amazing. That's a wonderful deal. Are you in King Supers or City Markets?
No
Where-
grocery stores right now, but all the big liquor stores, so Tipsy's, Argonaut,
Cool.
Molly's, Applejacks, and then we're selling also breweries like Tommyknocker, Breckenridge Distillery carries only exclusively my mixes and uses them. So you'll find them all over
Right
the place
on,
like
yeah.
that.
That's what I want to know. I want to know where to get this tomorrow.
Absolutely. Where do you get your spices from?
I get spices from mostly Rocky Mountain Spice and Restaurant Depot.
Well, let's change that. Let's see if we can't connect you with Zach.
I mean,
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
Is a
I know
personal
he could do it.
I think a personal relationship in a guy like Zach is that you taste these things and you might be able to brainstorm and come up with some more ideas. And I mean, God forbid you use each other's brands to further products. That's what it's all about when it comes to networking.
The cucumber has one of my favorite ingredients in the world that people don't know exists. It's horseradish powder. So her finish is horseradish powder, which is a really cool thing. We've used it to make a couple different blends, some shrimp cocktail sauce in a dry form we used it for. They were using it at White Lies when it was still open, and they're using it again at Run for the Roses that just opened. Really cool product, but that horseradish powder is like such a unique, cool ingredient that she has gone out of her way to find.
And you love pure ingredients. Zach has one of the only GMO-sourced garlics in the world.
Awesome.
Non-GMO.
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 What did I say? GMO. Hey,
GMO source.
he's got, yeah.
He's got something special.
But truly, stuff like that, I love those collaborations. Maybe you can figure out one blend of a collaboration with the Spice Guy, and we'd love to promote that. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, actually at the restaurant, we're going to do restaurant-only flavors, so we're going to always be changing up the flavors that we have, like weekly, monthly specials. So I have some ideas like some smoked flavors, cilantro, roasted tomato, all kinds of different ideas that we'll just have at the restaurant. So
Hey, wait, Tanecia, I know a guy.
We're up
I
there
know this guy,
weekly,
Zach, yeah.
And I know a guy that might deliver it for us.
that'd be great. Then I don't have to drive down to Denver.
That'd be beautiful.
Hyper local at its finest, Tanecia. So how can people, I know Zach touched on it a little bit, but where can people find these delicious blends tomorrow when they're saying it's happy hour and I want to try this?
So if you go to my website, there's a zip code finder. You can put in your zip code, and all the restaurants and stores that they're available in come up on the website. It's treelinebmm.com. So like Bloody Mary Mix, treelinebmm.com.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
First appearance, but not the last, because that was the best Bloody Mary mix I've ever had.
Wasn't that tasty?
It was good. What do you think? Zach, is that something? Here's the Al
She's a local, I know, yes.
The Al Pastor is off right now.
It is off, and it's right here. I hope everyone can
You
get
can
some.
garnish the Bloody Mary with a taco.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Tommyknocker Brewery. Where is Steve? It's not Inderhaus. What? It's
Inderhoos.
Inderhoos.
All right. I've called him the wrong name for many, many years now, which is totally embarrassing. But Steve Inderhoos is up next right here on the Modern Eater. Don't laugh at me, Brian. The Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
Thanks, Greg. That was a great segment. We're heading into the home stretch. We're almost there. And here's what's disappointing to me. Tacos coming out here, and I'm the tortilla guy, and I can't even get one.
I'm with you on that.
I got Lincoln here.
Yes,
Seattle Fish.
with Seattle Fish.
And he's a real fisherman.
Oh, man. And it's not just Seattle Fish that I definitely want to represent. I mean, it's everything it's the whole industry as a whole. You know what I mean? With Seattle Fish, they give me the opportunity to source things from from anywhere I want. It's a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? So I can go into the Gulf, I can go out West Coast, East Coast, anything in that you can potentially want, I believe we carry. You know what I mean? And that's on the provisions catalog. I mean, you're looking at everything from local lamb to beef to rabbit. I mean, we'll pick up anything. B squared honey, we work a lot with the Spice Guy. I mean, we can carry it all, you know, so it's really a beautiful thing. 100 years. 100 years.
Something right over there. Way better, you know. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on the show tonight. We're heading into the home stretch. We're going to take a break.
Appreciate it.
Food as it should be.
The iconic Tommyknocker Brewery in Idaho Springs.
Live in 215.
And Booze in the News. If you have a question for Steve, he's the man to answer it. Tommyknocker Brewery questions, 303-713-8255. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey, chef friends, it's Little Rich here from Raquelitas Tortillas. Raquelitas, known for hyper-local, innovative, and healthy tortillas and chips, served by Colorado's top chefs, and that's why we only use Colorado Mills sunflower oil. If you too want to serve the healthiest, most vibrant tasting foods, you must use Colorado Mills. Colorado Mills is hyper-local, Colorado-grown, cold-pressed in Lamar, Colorado. Whether you bake, fry, or saute, get your Colorado Mills today. Available through Shamrock, Growers Organic, and Dawn Foods. For the best oil in the business, use Colorado Mills.
Hey everyone, it's Colleen Ferreira with the Colorado Chefs Association. Are you ready to put your passion to work? Well, we train the future chefs of Colorado, and we want you to join us. The Colorado Chefs Association is recruiting for our fall semester right now. Join our American Culinary Federation accredited cooking program. Work in a professional kitchen and get paid all while earning your sous chef certification. Email me at colleen@acfcoloradochefs.org. I'd love to hear from you. Join our excitement and explore a new future.
1 minute.
Goods. If you're looking for a neighborhood restaurant that features gluten-free menu items, stop by The Goods. Whether you're a vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, or even a meat lover, they've got something for everyone. Do you love a great sandwich? How about wood oven roasted vegetables on multigrain bread with rosemary mayo and olives, vegan and certified gluten-free? Or for the meat lover, try one of their most popular menu items, the Paleo Bowl, with house-smoked pork, wood oven roasted veggies, 2 sunny-side-up eggs, and Indonesian sambal sauce. It's delicious. As a friendly neighborhood restaurant featuring dinner, brunch, and full bar with 2 happy hours daily, they truly care about you, the customer, and desire to provide an extraordinary dining experience for everyone, their family, and...
Are you guys there? Yes, sir. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Friendly neighborhood restaurant.
Live in 10.
Gluten-free and vegan options. And they don't forget about meat lovers.
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine. We're coming back in 6 then, okay?
Colfax directly connected to the Tattered Cover Bookstore. Hungry? TheGoodsRestaurant.com.
This is the Modern Eater Show at Troy Guard Tag Restaurant Group. I'll see you guys soon.
My name is Jennifer Jasinski, and I'm listening to the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio.
You're hot.
Okay, that was the voice of Troy Guard. I think it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Troy.
Is it now?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he's using a really killer product. Local guy, Shogun Wagyu. He's got this Wagyu over there at his restaurant that is just top-notch. But speaking of top-notch, you know who we have in front of us right now? Tommyknocker.
Tommyknocker Brewery and an institution.
Wait, where are they from, Greg? Where are they from?
Idaho Springs, man.
Oh, well, okay, right up the street.
Are you a local?
I live in Evergreen.
If you're newly joining us to Colorado, Idaho Springs and Tommyknocker Brewery, a not-so-secret place to go anymore. And we'll keep it that way. So Greg Hollenbach, Brian Freeman, Jay Parker, and continuing with Zach Johnston, the Spice Guy, who's our co-host. I think he's going to come in and co-host a lot because I like having you around, man. Have you been to Tommyknocker?
I've been there many times. Thank you. I actually have skied on your free ski pass at Loveland twice, so appreciate that.
Awesome. They love doing a lot of stuff with Loveland. Steve, welcome back. Good to see you.
Things are good.
Dance with you, too, huh?
Yeah.
Dancing. I love the tags because I know who's in front of me. We get so many people here all the time. Zach, I want to do this. We're going to spend a half an hour with Tommyknocker, so we have some time. But first time in the kitchen. Pretty cool experience, huh?
This is an awesome experience. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
What's it like?
So it's hectic here. There's a lot of stuff happening, right? You get a lot done in 2 hours here, probably more than most businesses get done in 8 hours, which is really impressive. But there's food happening. Chito's got 57 dishes coming out at any given moment. There's a lot of radio stuff happening, obviously.
Yeah.
You got Rich doing 1-minute segments that feel like 12 seconds.
Right.
It's
nothing gets past you, Zach.
No, it's fast paced. It's lovely. I'm really enjoying myself. Thank you for having me.
Have you met Biker Jim?
Jim is my favorite long-haired person in the world at the moment. We're going to ride motorcycles together someday when we get our lives together.
You know, one of the things you want to check out with Jim is his Facebook page, because he always shares these very special, intimate pictures that I just love about the guy. You know, it's just like I feel like I'm at home when I'm on Jim's Facebook page.
It was moon over something or another.
Birds over the moon. Birds over the moon.
It's a daily morning view from Jim's boxer shorts.
Too much.
I love it. I love this guy over there.
At this point in time in the show, it gets a little weird, but why not?
It's the second hour at the Modern Eater, man.
Yeah, fueled by fire. Steve, welcome back to the show. And first of all, Treeline, we tasted their delicious Bloody Mary mix.
He's making up another full one here.
And so what do you do with their Bloody Mary mix?
Well, we're making this Michelada for Cinco de Mayo. We did it last year as a trial, and it worked really well. This year we found Treeline, which definitely ups the quality of it. Last year we were using some bar mix or whatever. But the base of it is our chili lager, and that's 100% Anaheim green chilies, hot and mild. And it's not, the beer itself isn't super spicy. It's more of a field flavor beer of chilies. It's a lot of the spices coming from the mix. It builds it. It's interesting.
Cheers. All right, let's give it a go. So tomorrow, this will be in full effect at Tommyknocker Brewery.
We're going to be serving it at Loveland Ski Area, at Tommyknocker Brewery, and at the Vintage Moose, which is right down the street from us because it's their 4th anniversary.
Now,
There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that.
I'm a Michelada guy. That's wonderful.
You're good with that one?
Yeah.
That is good. That is good. I got to tell you.
It was very much a surprise. It all came about coming across and making a Michelada out in Silverthorne. Something that I wanted to educate people on. Micheladas are something that very few communities know of, unless you're visiting Mexican restaurants frequently. So Treeline Bloody Mary Mix was the one that stood out, and actually it was Massive Mango. Of course, thinking of just the unique flavor and attention that it grabbed, our chili lager was the one that really blended in and got that attention.
Chili lager, I talk to Steve about it all the time. I say my Taco Tuesday always has the chili lager right along with it. You guys are doing a lot of great work, but the specialty items, Steve, talk about, either of you, Steve, Dan, whoever wants to jump in, about some of the special nuances, what you do with zesting and certain things with the infusions of your beer. You go above and beyond.
Well, we're fortunate to be big enough to make things effective, but small enough where we can still do things by hand.
Well said. Well said.
So, like for our blood orange IPA, we actually hand zest real blood oranges. We're not just dumping in buckets of puree. There's all kinds of things, problems that happen when you dump in buckets of fruit. So the zest, it turns out, is where the flavor is and the aroma, and it kind of turned that beer, and it made it our #1 beer.
It's interesting. Yeah. When was the last time you were at Tommyknocker?
God, it was within the last month or so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I love, listen, I have some good friends
They're
in
introducing new
Idaho
beers. Are you
Springs
keeping up on them?
Well,
Look at this one right in front of them.
Prospector series.
Oh, okay.
Kind of the thing we're doing to not reinvent ourselves, but be current with the new breweries popping up everywhere.
Is this a seasonal? Is this a staple? Where does this lay? Because at the growth point of Tommyknocker, if you're going to put something into distribution, it's got to be spot on. Yeah. So
we're doing 200 cases and 20 kegs every other month of a new beer called the Prospector Series, and that's it. Our first one was Cherrywood Sour Brown. Again, they had a cherrywood that we actually fermented.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Let's see what's happening here. So.
Yeah, that one has the big tropical hops, from New Zealand, and it's a 9% beer. It's hard to drink a whole one for me. It's strong.
Okay, then I better have a sip.
Stop it,
9%. Some sample glasses.
Sample glasses.
Very, very easy and approachable.
We're friends here,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
I thought we knew. We went way back, Steve. You're afraid to drink off of me.
I need a little sample glass.
I'm pretty safe.
So for a double IPA, and I mean, first of all, why do I say that? So for a double IPA, you think of very big, that almost could go into a lot of people's dailies.
Yeah, that's
right
a rosé
there.
all day. That's
But
a porch jumper.
and I'll tell you, that's interesting because I'm not a big IPA guy. But are you guys getting that fruity nose
Right
on this?
off, yeah.
Right off. I mean, before it even hits my tongue.
Yeah.
Great job. Great job,
The
Steve.
other thing that made this beer happen is we have a new piece of equipment called Shockwave Inductor.
Is that what we saw when we
Yeah.
first got up there?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to figure this out, but it's got some money into it. I
Yeah.
better figure out how to use it.
It makes it so we can put more hops in or less hops in and get more flavor. Because for a beer like this, you just keep putting hops and hops to try to get that big hop profile. But there's a point of diminishing returns where you get other negative components. With this new machine, and you can put about 40% less hops than you normally would in, run it through there, and you get more of the positive attributes from the hops.
Well, don't you notice that, Greg, though? Because I'll tell you, I'm not big on one of the things I think we've gone way overboard with the hops.
Yeah.
I mean, these double IPAs, triple IPAs, it's too much. Sometimes you drink them and your mouth tastes like cotton mouth. Like it just tastes bitter.
Punched in the face.
Yeah. And it's not fun. And
Yeah.
what you have in a double IPA, I'll tell you, that's drinkable.
Oh, well, thank you. That's drinkable. I didn't spit it out. Who develops your recipes, guys?
Pretty much run the brewery as a team. Try to have everybody vested in it. I feel it's successful when you have all the brewers have a say in it. They have part in it, and they will run it through the system, and hopefully we'll have better quality, and everybody has a part of it. It's nice.
How do you scale? Let's talk about that. Let's break. We'll come back. Booze and News is next. All the booze news you can use right here on the Modern Eater Show on iHeartRadio. And doing such a great job tonight. That Al Pastor, did anybody get a little piece of this back here?
Oh, my gosh.
The tacos are firing off. Seattle Fish Company did a great job. The scallops are out. Have you had a chance to eat, Zach?
Yeah, I had a chance. Got some of Chito's mushroom ceviche. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's got great spices in it.
Yeah.
And aside
Well,
from
it's
that,
yours. Oh, wait. Whose spices are those
The
there,
Spice
Zach?
Guy spices. It's some Hazeldale mushrooms as well, and
Yeah.
it rounds out really nice.
You know what's funny? Jim Hammond, Hazeldown Mushroom, up north, super hyper local guy out of San Francisco, moved here to do this mushroom program, and just salt of the earth,
super hyper.
growing every kind of mushroom he can, that's specialty. And that's what tonight we've got some royal trumpets, some cinnamon caps.
I still love my guy right up there in where is that out in Colorado? Montrose, Colorado.
Oh, yes. Oh, no. How can I
SRA.
not?
South
SRA,
River
South River
Aquaponics.
Aquaponics.
Doing a
Well,
great
they're
job.
great friends, for sure.
Yeah.
They're doing a couple of types of mushrooms. You know, he does the royal trumpet,
Yeah.
and that's it, whereas Hazeldale's got more of the shiitake and the oyster and the cinnamon cap. And gosh, I am forgetting one of the names of the new mushrooms
Brian
that he
Freeman
did.
forgetting about a mushroom?
Holy smokes, yep.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we'll continue. I want to talk about Tommyknocker, the great history and where they're at now, the scalability. But this beer is readily available. But to keep that craft beer, to stay in a craft beer genre, right? I mean, you're far from exceeding that, obviously. But to make sure that these beers are the one-off, delicious beers, what you have on tap, it's springtime now. A lot of people go up to Idaho Springs. Restaurants in Idaho Springs. What are some of the restaurants right now? There was a great Italian restaurant up there.
There was. That is now a really good, cidery.
Is that a cidery?
Yeah, it's a nice cidery. They do really good food there, too. And then we have Westbound and Down Brewery down the street. There's Mountain Prime. They do good steaks. Idaho Springs is blossoming. It's, over the years, I've been there 23 years, and over the years, a restaurant would open up and everybody would get all excited, and then it would go away or something. But this is the first time, there's 0 empty storefronts. There's consequences to that, too, because parking's an issue. There's nowhere to live. Finding employees is really tough for us now because Idaho Springs finally got discovered.
Folks, yeah, and I hope you're listening because Steve from Tommyknocker Brewery, so humble. He's talking about all the other businesses and how it's about lifting up his town. And it's not just about, hey, am I important? Am I the most important guy on the street? But how are we going to get Idaho Springs
I think a lot of
elevated?
people look to Tommyknocker as being that kind of rock within the community.
Definitely the prudential of Idaho Springs.
Because there's a
sure.
big chance that if someone's going to go visit that cidery, they just came out of Tommyknocker and they discovered it because of that. It's a good thing. So What we're going to do right now is just take a break, come back. We have one last segment in the show. And what a fun night as the sun sets on the Mile High City, and I love it. Springtime in the Rockies. We're about to set sail on Road Trip 2019, and our last stop is going to be Tommyknocker Brewery, somewhere around the 21st of
That's
22nd of June. So mark your calendar, Steve.
Saturday,
you don't
Sunday,
even know
Sunday.
we're coming through, man, but we're going to be coming through. And then
Well, Little Rich has got Gigi over here for the break.
All right, let's take a break.
And we're
We'll
going to
come
come
right back. Little Rich, we'll throw it to you right now and take a break on our iHeart radio station, the Modern Eater Show on iHeart Radio.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Hey, you know, we're in a home stretch. We're in almost our last, and it's kind of the time for dessert. So we've got Gigi, the sweetest woman in the whole room, holding the dessert that Chris Moore just made. And so Chris is incredible. He just got done slinging tacos. What do you think of this dessert?
This is incredible. So this is pound cake. You have all sorts of flavors with the pineapple and the strawberry and the cream. This was whipped up after tacos al pastor, after ceviche, after just, I cannot tell you how much food we just had in this room. And now this beautiful, sweet, fantastic dessert to just top it all off with. So wonderful. Thank you to the chefs. This is amazing.
Oh, Gigi, you know, there's only one thing sweeter than this, and that's her. We have missed you. Welcome back home. We missed you so much. Well, we're in the final stretch. I'm going to let's break away so you can hear some words from our curated sponsors, and they will help you run a better operation. You will get better. Take it away.
Financing.net. NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Get ready to change the way you look at food. This is Peter Allman, the founder of South River Aquaponics and Alpenglow Mushrooms. As a Le Cordon Bleu trained chef, I know the importance of quality ingredients. That's why in 2013, I left the fine dining industry to start a sustainable organic farm. At South River Aquaponics Alpenglow, we are the leader in sustainable growing practices, utilizing our natural resources as effectively as possible. No pesticides, no GMOs, no fun.
1 minute.
Clean, honest food production. We use old world techniques combined with modern technology to bring you the best possible produce. Our gourmet mushroom facility provides CO2 for our greenhouse that grows tilapia as well as lettuces and herbs in our aquaponics system. Look for us in natural grocers, City Market, and served on the plates of Colorado's finest chefs. At South River Aquaponics Alpenglow Mushrooms, we're growing greener. To learn more about aquaponics and see our products, go to our website at southriveraquaponics.com. South River Aquaponics, the future of farming.
My dad's vegetables are so good, I can't live without them.
Hey, Colorado chefs. Brian Freeman with Grower 30. Modern Eater Talk Show. Do you care about where your food comes from? I do. Do you want loyalty from customers who care about that as well? I can help by providing top quality organic produce with reliable delivery, knowledgeable sales team who genuinely care about how food is grown, transported, and served. Chefs, Growers Organic will ensure you have excellent ingredients for your next James Beard dinner, your nightly specials, or your regular menu items. Join the organic revolution and go organic with Growers Organic. Look us up online at growersorganic.com.
Now it's time for the Modern Eaters Booze in the News segment.
I like my beer cold, my meat grilled, and my entertainment explosive.
All we need is a chair and a cooler beer.
Here's your booze news.
Oh, no, I want
All right, booze in the news. All the booze news you can use. Home stretch on the Modern Eater Show. We've lost half of our guests. They're eating. They're drinking.
They're having fun. They're doing
They
what
don't
they're
even
supposed
know
to.
a show's going on.
They're
right
doing
now.
what they're supposed to do here because we have all these entrepreneurs in the room. We have all these business owners. That's the coolest thing about the Modern Eater is, quite honestly, we have the real spirit, which is the entrepreneurial spirit of Colorado right here at the Modern Eater Studio every Saturday night. I mean, look at around the room. How many times do you have this many food and beverage?
Every weekend.
Every weekend. Every weekend we have the people that are bringing the best food and drinks in Colorado right here.
It's all about
the Modern
sourcing.
Eater.
So as we continue, our favorite co-host right now, and Zach Johnston, the Spice Guy, we'll continue. Why don't you do the setup for you're great at this, Zach.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we've got Steve and Dan from Tommyknocker Brewery, and we're talking about what you guys are doing to scale your business and what sort of the limitations are for you right now and how you overcome some of those other limitations that are in the way.
It's interesting because we're like two different businesses. We have a brew pub and a production facility, and then the restaurant. The limitations for the restaurant are pretty much parking, and then for running the restaurant, finding employees.
Big dining room.
Yeah, big
Huge.
300
How many
seats.
is it? 300 seats. And have you ever been full capacity?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever not been full capacity?
All summer last summer, we were at capacity, and this summer is going to be off the hook because the rafting is going to be so big. So it's generating excitement, and we'll have a ton of rafters up.
How many times do you turn the restaurant in one day, typically on a busy Saturday?
I don't know that number. Sorry. It's like if I had to guess.
Too many.
Yeah, too many.
Yeah.
Here, I'll throw something at you because of what you just said about the water being the highest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Folks, this year, our peach and cherry and pears are going to be the biggest crop that
better
we
be,
potentially
Brian.
have ever seen. No, I'm not
wanna see
joking.
'em.
I'm in touch with all of my growers right now. It's scaring me because one of my growers said last year, I've been working with him for years, and we got like 2,000 pounds of cherries every year, 2,000, 3,000, right in there. And last year, he came on with 10,000 pounds. So think about jumping your business in. And, and one thing with me, I've guaranteed his crop, so I own it. So all of a sudden, I went from a place of, and he brought me, I go down and visit the farms, and we were there. Actually, this is Burke Harvest out of Paonia. And we're there visiting his crop, and he's saying, things are looking good. Little did I know that, I've got probably about,
But how many bad years have to, it all comes together.
That's what's so hard. And that's why I'm encouraging everyone to think about coming local. If you've got a product that you can use peaches, pears, cherries from Colorado, do it. If you guys can make a beer with some cherries this year, they're going to be there like they've never been there before.
How much room do you have for experimentals or one-offs?
Well, we have a 1.5 barrel fermenter, and right now we're using that for all these test batches for like making this new Prospector series. Our next one's going to be a sour tartberry. We have a fruit beer that's coming out right now as a seasonal, and it's a Thunderberry, so we're making a sour version of that. So we test all these things in that 1.5 barrel version. I've been doing it for 30 years, so we're pretty comfortable normally going right to a 20-barrel batch, which is 40 kegs. We can usually push those through the bar, and from there we're in production.
Brewery horror stories.
Yeah.
Last time we were there at Tommyknocker,
God.
you cleared out the whole bar area, man. Something sprays out.
Volcano.
What happened that night?
That we were making first generation of our hazy beers. And for hazy beers, you dump hops in primary fermentation, which is you don't do that for any other beer. And if you don't do it right, you dump them in there, and there's carbonation from the yeast eating the sugars, producing carbonation. And there's a nucleation point when you drop hop particulates in there. It climbs on, it rises up, and it gushes out. Yep,
we got it.
I know. I forgot about that. That was embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing at all because that's the life of a brewery, and it happens all the time. We have another one right now. What's this one we're drinking here, Dan?
So this is our Beerita. What we did here was use our new one of our new seasonals.
I got you.
Which is our Blood Orange Haze. First time Tommyknocker venturing into the haze category. I was really stoked by it. What we kept the Blood Orange name the same was the finisher.
Freaking delicious.
And what's in this? What'd you mix this with?
So what we use are margarita sours, our Blood Orange Haze, and topped it off with a shot of tequila.
Not too sweet at all.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good stuff.
That tequila, that was the sleeper. I didn't even know it was in there.
That's the sleeper.
That's the creeper to wake you up there.
All right, 30 seconds. Do it, Steve, right now. Come up to Tommyknocker. Why?
Well, tomorrow come up because it's Loveland's closing day. And so we'll be up there doing a big promotion. We'll have piñatas going off. We have bands playing. There's a photo booth that goes right to your social media. And we'll be serving these beeritas. We'll be serving the micheladas. And it'll be a big fun Cinco de Mayo celebration.
Big fiesta.
And you've got a chance to win skis and gear and all kinds of other stuff too, right?
In the piñatas, there's free beer coupons for there. There were free dinner coupons, candy for the kids, and you can win a pair of skis.
All right, good night. There it is. The music, the Modern Eater Show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
So they can collaborate from anywhere.
Yeah.
Secure platform.
Sounds great.
By the way, I would never drop you.
Thank you, announcer man.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Google.
In general, I'm a win-win guy. When I have to spend hours searching for the right part, it's lose-lose. It's time lost for me and lost time for my crew. That's why I order from Granger. With product experts that have the answers to my toughest questions, an easy-to-use website to help me find the right product quickly, I can rely on Grainger to make getting supplies for my business as simple and seamless as possible. When it comes to getting things done, it's a win-win when Grainger's got your back. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Dan Kaplis afternoons at 4, KHOW, Denver.